Rob Barlow here from Whitewater Gun Dogs. Today we're going to work on teaching our young dogs to do long retrieves. I define a long retrieve at 100 yards. That's pretty much a long retrieve for any hunting situation, any spaniel, any upland bird dog, etc. Our dogs are steady, so 100 yards means 100 yards. It doesn't mean 100 yards of chasing where the bird's only 10 yards from the dog the entire retrieve. So there's several ways you can do this. We're gonna show you all the tools that we have at our disposal. Not everybody has these, and we're gonna kind of walk through and explain why we use this, how we use this, why we don't use this, etc. So we're gonna start out with the average spaniel person or gun dog guy. They have these handheld dummy launchers. This is canvas with a yellow load. The best you're gonna get is 80, 85 yards with a yellow load. You can put reds in there and probably push that over 100, but when you're running multiple dogs, time you shoot 4 or 5 retrieves for every dog, red loads, this thing's gonna beat you up. You can use these. I don't like these. These will get you further. They're lighter. I'm not sure what the max distance is on these things. I don't use them. I've tried them. They come out of the launcher so fast that the dog really doesn't have a good view of them until they get out to where they're going. So that really doesn't help their marking ability. One of the reasons I love these things, I use them a lot for short 40, 50 yard retrieves, 60 yard retrieves, teaching them to run through obstacles, cover changes, deep cover, not very far. If I want to use terrain, across the ditch, across a creek, whatever, I can use these, but they're never very far. The problem with these using to teach long retrieves is you can't repeat the mark. You can't put this in the same spot every time. And when you're teaching long retrieves, that bird or that bumper needs to be within 4 or 5 feet every time. This thing, it's hard that the wind's going to blow it different. It's going to bounce. These things will bounce 20 yards. So when the dog gets to the area of the fall where he marked it, it's not there. So now you got a big hunt. So you're taking the confidence of building a long retrieve away from the dog because he gets to the area of the fall where his eyes say it is, and then it's not there. And then he's got to go on this big hunt. So we don't use these for long retrieves. We use them for a lot for concept training, for short cover changes, cross barriers, etc. And that's how I use these things. I call these spaniel type retriever trainers. Because if you think of flushing dog or a flushing dog retriever, if you think of a flushing dog, every bird that he marks and retrieves is one that he's flushed. So the birds are always flying away from him, always flying away from him. So these are great concepts for that, and I use them. All my young dogs have had them. Teach them to watch and mark going away. Perfect training tool for that. But when you start stretching them out, we're going to run mark clear to the end of this field. It's 100 yards. You know, this thing won't get 100 yards. Can't do it. And if it could, it wouldn't land in the same place every time. You know, some people say, well, I give my dogs 200 yard retrieve. Not with these. 200 yards is at the tree line. I took my rangefinder out and marked it. That left tree, that far left tree is 201 yards from where I stand. This ain't getting there. I don't have anything. You can't put a load big enough in there to get that to there. And I don't care if the wind's blowing 90 miles an hour, it ain't getting there. So that's why we don't use these. So the other way you can get that is you can use these. These are wingers, readily available. A little more expensive. They can be run manual or electronics. I use electronics on all mine. But the nice thing about these is if you're running a manual, you can have somebody here running, operating it for you. You don't have to spend the $300 for electronics to make it work. And the other thing is you got somebody out there to help you. The bad thing about these for teaching long retrieve concepts, if you're training by yourself and you only have one of these, even if you got the electronics, you can only shoot one bird at a time. And you're going to see in this video how I break things down to teach these long retrieves. You can't do that with this unless you have somebody out there. It's hard to do it. If you have 3 or 4 of these set up with all the electronics, yeah, you can do it. But now you're gonna be into this thing $3,000 with all your electronics and 2 or 3, you know. And a lot of people have them. I have 3 of them, you know, and I have the electronics for them, and I use them. But I don't use them for teaching concepts. I use them for training or for testing or setting up final prep for tests. But they're great. I mean, I have them, I use them. You can see this thing's been beat up, it's been used, needs to have new bands put on it, and I use them a lot. The other thing we got is these. This is an old bumper boy. I've had this since 98, 97. It's a 12 shooter. I have several of these. I got 4s, I got 6s, I got another 8 sitting at a place I got to go get. But this is a 12 shooter. I can fire these off remotely up to 300 yards easily. I'm not gonna do 300 yards, but I can do it. Like I said, they don't make these anymore, but Retriever Trainer makes a Versa launcher that you can start with a 1 or a 2 or add up to 6 or 8 or whatever it is. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're invaluable as a concept training tool. So depends on what you want. If you got one dog, I don't know. I can't tell you that. It's just what I use. And I have several of them. We're using this 12 today because we're going to run a bunch of dogs and I don't want to have to reload. They use the same loads. They use the same loads as these. I'm going to use greens in that today. I don't want a big high arc and I don't want a whole lot of distance. So, and we're going to put our Doctress equipment on there. The Doctress remotes have sound attentioners. Some of them are just beeps. Some sound like a quack. You know, it's Garmin makes them. I'm sure there's other companies that make them, but we use Doctress stuff, so that's what we use on here. So when you're going to see how I use this machine to train concepts, we're going to start out taking our dogs up to 40-yard mark from this. We're going to shoot one off. They're going to go get it, and we're going to, depends on what they do. If they do good, we'll move back to the 50-yard mark, and then we'll move back to the 60-yard mark, and then we'll move back to the 100-yard mark. So they're going to run this 4 times, but they're going to start out short. We're going to build it. You know, we start out by teaching the hardest part of the mark first. And the hardest part of every mark is the furthest away you are. So the dogs will get out there and then forget where they're going, or it's too far, they don't have the confidence, or whatever, you know, their inabilities are. But the way we do it is we teach that first, and then we move back. So every time they get to the farthest part, I've already been there, you can just actually see the dogs accelerate. Oh, I've been here, I'm going, you know. And that's the same way we do with our blinds and everything else. I know a lot of people, and I've watched a lot of YouTubes, and I've listened to a lot of people, and they'll start here and then move throw a 30-yard mark, and then they'll throw a 60-yard mark, and then they'll throw. So every time the dog gets past the point of the last retrieve, it's new. After he gets done being hung up in the old fall, then he's got to push back, then he's got to get it, then he's got to push back 2 or 3 times until you get out to the 100. That's not a good way to train. I mean, you can do it if you want, but to build confidence, that's not a really good way to train. So we're gonna use that. We're gonna get set up. We're gonna run some young dogs that need this. And some of them haven't had this. I know 3 of them haven't used this thing. So you're gonna see leaving early, jumping forward, etc., etc. We're not using collars. We're not gonna use the e-collar. It's all done conventionally, these dogs have all been collar conditioned to all their commands. So if they jump forward, it's a simple no sit or no hup or whatever. And then we repeat it. So one of the things that you're going to see if they do that is I'm not going to, if they jump from me to the machine, I consider that a break. It can be a controlled, it's going to be a controlled break, I hope. You know, some of them I may not. You know, we got a couple young ones that are pretty fast. So anyway, so a lot of people, they get that stopped. They get them stopped. Okay, I got them stopped, so now I'm going to give them a reward for stopping. And then they go ahead and send them for the retrieve. If you build that habit, you will never get rid of this. And this will get worse. It'll be halfway out there. It'll be 3/4 of the way out there. Never let them have the retrieve if their intent was to go, regardless of whether you got them stopped or not. Because if you give them that reward for that, that's never going away, ever. Don't do it. Don't get in that habit. When I'm doing their yard work and their steadiness and they're in the yard, if they leave on a mark or something I've thrown for them in the yard, they get sat back down, I walk out there and pick the bird up. I'm not going to walk out here now because it's 100 yards and I don't want to go that far. You know, and I have multiple bumpers to throw, not just one. So that's the nice thing about that versus this, is if you only have one of these and your dog leaves, now you got to go put your dog back up, go back out and reload, and bring your dog back out. So the time frame that all takes is too long. It's just simply the dog, there's no learning in that, none. I mean, if you have somebody a lot of exercise, if you have somebody out there that's handling this for you, they can walk out there and get the bird and pick it up and reload. And then you can just carry on, which is just perfect. But these things here, if you're trying to do that with this, you better have a lot of money, because you're going to be buying a lot of these, because you're going to shoot this off in the cover and you're never going to see it again. You know, you might take your dog out after the fact and find it, but these things, believe me, I've looked for these things, and I usually have to end up getting a different dog out and finding it. So that's not a good tool to be teaching that. So we're going to get set up. We're going to go put our stuff out, and we're going to get some dogs, and we're going to go to work. This is the youngest dog we got in the truck. She'll be 11 months old next week. She's been through the yard, collar conditioning, steady in the yard. She's never had this type of retrieve. She's never had that bumper boy going off for her. So she's I fully expect her to leave early. So if we can get her stopped, we'll get her stopped, and we'll show you. But for right now, I'm going to move up to probably 2/3 of the way. Heel. Heel. Good hop. So roughly 40 yards, 35, 40 yards. I set that out on the open on purpose. You know, a lot of the true retriever guys would have a blind around it or be set back in the bushes. And that'll come later, but for right now, we're teaching the dog to mark. And if you're hunting upland birds, whether it's you're using retrievers or whatever, cockers or springers, through repetition, your dogs are going to mark off something, whether it's that tree or that bumper boy or whatever it is. They're going to mark, hop. They're going to mark off of something. So we want to give them something to mark off of. So we're going to try this out. I'm going to show you how I introduce this. I'm going to wrap the lead around her, and fully expecting she's going to leave. Hopefully she won't, but we're going to be ready for it. Heel, hop. So like I said earlier, this thing has a attention getting device, sound box with it. And because I use these things a lot, I want them to understand what that sound is. Hup. Right. Okay. She's gonna go to the bumper, boy. Okay, we're gonna show you how we're gonna help her here now. Let's see if she gets on the downwind side of this. No. See how we helped her? You're not gonna get that with a handheld thrown one or even a winger. Good girl, good, good. Here, heel. We made her success. Here, come here, here, hop. Because she had trouble with that, we're gonna do it again. Here, here, hop, hop. Good girl, hop, hop. Right. Good girl. Okay, now we're gonna move back. Well, she's coming back. Here, 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 here. Good, good. Here, here. Gotta remember, hop. This is just a puppy. She's not even a year old yet. Hop. She's gonna have a lot of puppy antics. Okay, we're gonna try it again from here. Hop. Mark, mark. Hop, hop. Right. Okay, she's already done this part. She's been there. She should be successful. There you go. Now we're gonna move back to the 100-yard mark. Got a cheat in there. Here, here, here. Come here, here. There you go. Good. Hold that now. Hop, hop, hop. Hold that. Good job. I know. That's a long ways, huh? Hop, hop. Good job. Here. Come here. Here, here, here. Come here. Come on. You got one more. We're not done yet. There you go. Come on, puppy. Come on. Here. Hop, 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 hop. Right. Good girl, good girl. Keep going, keep going. Bang. Perfect. Yeah, I thought it was perfect. Oh, okay. Okay, we're gonna do it again. Good girl. Good girl. Here, 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 here. Come on. Good. Hop, hop. Right. Keep driving, keep driving. Oh, good. Come on, come on, get out there. There we go, success. All right, good girl. Woo! Nice job, sweetie. All right, good girl. Good, 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 good. Hop, hop. Come on. That's it. Hold that. Here, fetch, hold, hold. Good job. Good, all right. Good job. That's pretty tough, huh? Good, good, good. Hop, good job. Hop. Good lead on you while we still can. Good. So, we used 6 bumpers for that. You know, that's why that machine is invaluable. You know, so, but we taught her. So, broke it down, broke it down, broke it down, broke it down. You can see how she went out on there on that hunt, on that first one, big hunt, big hunt. I was able to launch one out for her and make her successful. Then she got out there. Every time she got out there, the last one, we stretched her out at that 100 yards. If you noticed, if you were watching her, she was looking at me, not paying attention to what the mark was until the shot went off. And then it's too late. This last one, she focused, she listened to the noise, she watched the fall, and went right out there and picked it up. Couldn't it be any better? So we're gonna get another dog, and I would expect the next dog we're gonna run is gonna be very similar. So we're just gonna go get another dog, and might as well reload while we're taking a break and getting another dog. Good enough. So here we got Kinsey, 13-month-old field-bred cocker. We're gonna break it down the same way, move out, work our way back. You know, when our initial introduction, we talked about getting the bumpers landing in the same place. You can do that with the winger, hard to do it with the handheld one. When I went out and picked up, so we used 6 bumpers on Riot. She retrieved 4. I went out and picked the other 2 bumpers up. Those were within 3 feet of each other. I mean, you can't get them much closer than that. I've been throwing a lot of bumpers and a lot of birds. I could probably get them that close every time, but that's pretty consistent. So a lot of people can't. So let's break this down for her. Heel. Girl, hop, good, hop, hop, good job, hop. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna restrain her on the first one. Here. Kinsey. Good girl. Come on, it's right there. Use your nose. Good girl. Woo! Good job, good job. Okay, we're gonna move back a little bit. Up, up. Good job. Here, 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 here. We're gonna break this down a little bit more for you. You can see the little bit of, here, come here. The little bit of hesitation, the uncertainty. Up. So we've shot some birds over her. I mean, I've used a handheld one, 30, 35 yards. So this is really testing her training ability. Up. Kinsey. Kinsey. Come on. Good girl. Woo! Good job. Back up a little more. I don't think we're going to do the 100 yard with her. She's still, I think she's going to stay here. Here, here, here. We're going to keep her. We're going to try one more with her. Here. Woo! It's about 80 yards. We're going to call that good for her until we can build her confidence up to push that far. Here, come here, here. Woo! Up. Good job. Oh, that wasn't a good one. Kinsey. Good girl. Okay, we're going to call that good. Success. 80 yards is good for her till we can get her confident on that 80 yard mark. we won't stretch her out. That's good for her. Good job. Good job. Good girl. Come on up here. All right. Good job, huh? That's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Here we got Dahlia. She's 18 months old. She's had a number of birds shot for her. But we're going to break this down for her again. She's had spaniel type retrieves, the handheld, bird shot for, etc. This concept of what I call retriever style marking and retrieving, that's foreign to her. So we're going to just be nice to her and break it down for her. And we may go quicker, I'm not sure, but you can see the last dog, the little cocker, her confidence level was not where I wanted it to be. So when she was successful at 80 yards, I quit. You know, we get to spend all summer doing this stuff here, and she'll get it. So we'll build that confidence up with her. She'll be better. So let's go see how Dahlia does. Hey, here. Here, hop, hop. Okay, we're gonna be fair to her just like we did everybody else. I'll restrain her on the first one. We'll give her that first one and then we'll try it. We'll do it again and we'll just see how she goes. Hop. Again, she hasn't had these kind of marks. Well, no, none of these young dogs have, so it's all foreign to them. Good, hop. Good. Hop, hop, Dahlia. Good girl. You can see the difference between an 18-month-old and a 12-month-old. Good. Hop, hop, good. Hop, come here. Let's do it one more time off lead. Here. Here, hop, hop. See the attention sounding, so how the mental development from a 12-month to 18-month, the focus is different. Hop. Dahlia. Good girl. Woo! Nice job, sweetie. Here, yeah, come here. Come on, here. Here, here. We're gonna break it down for her, just be fair. Hop. Hop, good. I'll go again, huh? You like that? Hop. Die. Bang. Good girl. All right. I'll take it. So this dog is out of our Hawk Dog and Maddie. Here. They both excellent markers. Up here. Come here. 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 Up. Both excellent markers. You know, Hawk, he has his finished title in HRC. Maddie's got her HR. But again, she's 18 months old. You're comparing, you can see the difference in focus. More training. Here, 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 here. Hop, hop. Come on, right here. Here, hop. Die. Sometimes you get that with these older equipment. Gives her 2 looks at it though. Okay, there's 100 yards. I'll take it. She was pretty easy. All right. Nice job. Good girl. All right. Good job. Up. Good job. Okay. I'll take that. She'll come along pretty good. The nice thing about this kind of equipment is we can take it to the water and teach them long concepts, you know, water concepts, and get just bang, 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 and just rifle through them and get them done, you know, instead of throwing rocks, etc. Yeah. So let's get another dog and we'll try it again. So here we got Draven. He just turned 2. He's ran 3 all-age stakes in field trials. He's got a couple placements in his short little life. Nice trial dog. But we have not done any retriever type training with him other than handling, you know, doing blind work. As far as marking and stuff, it's all been spaniel work. You know, birds that he's flushed, birds that get shot. That's about his only retrieving skills that he's had. So this is gonna be a little different for him. We're gonna break it down a little bit more, just like we did everybody else, because it's all new. We're out here teaching, we're not testing. So let's take him out and try it. Okay, up. Good boy. Good job. Yeah, up. Good. Ready? Good. Draven. Good boy. Good job. Good. Here, up. Good, up. So, one of the things you should have noticed is he put his nose down on the ground about halfway, 3/4 of the way out, and kind of used his nose to get out there. I want to get rid of that. I want that head up, drive to the mark. So, but he'll get it. Let's move on. Let's move him back. Come on, here, Draven. Here, Draven, here. Woo! Come on. We're not. Come on. Hey. Come on. You get to do it again. Here, hop. Good boy. Come on, Mark. Draven. Wind's pushing them a little bit. Good boy. All right. Good job. All right, good. Up. Okay, let's stretch him out to the 100 yards. He ran out there with a little more confidence on this one. That's what I wanted to see. As you can see, he hasn't figured out the sound. Hasn't associated the sound with the mark yet. And that'll come with more time. Here. Good. Hop. Come on. Right here. Here. Gotta wait till it goes off. Hop. There you go. Hey. Come on. Hop. Draven. Can see the wind. Typical spaniel. Lets the wind push him. Good boy. I'll take it. Our goal is to not let the wind push him. I want that driving straight to it. And that'll come with time. Up. And a lot of it's breeding. Now, if I took Maddie out here, she'll push, the wind will push her the same way. Hawk will just line it. My guess is Rogue will line it. The older dogs will just line it out. The one thing that I liked about Dahlia, the last dog that we ran, she didn't let the wind push her. She just drove it. Just drove it straight out there, right to the mark, perfect. You know, every dog's different. They're all individuals. They're all going to do it different. But with repetition, this will change. He'll just learn to drive out there, and that's why we break this down for these guys. Is we're teaching them. He'll come out here. We'll do another mark someplace else, and he'll be better and better. And pretty soon there won't be that letting of a wind push. He'll start marking and get to the fall. So I'm pleased. Good enough. So here we got Rindy. Should be 4. Yeah, she'll be 4 this summer. This is Riot's mama, the first puppy that we ran. She's kind of my go-to hunting dog. When I hunt, she's the first one off the truck, last one back on the truck. You know, for her, a 30, 40 yard mark is going to be a long mark. You know, I can shoot pretty good, and I don't need to be riding my birds out much further than that. So, and I'm hunting in heavy cover. You know, no reason to shoot a bird that she's not going to find. So for her, this 100-yard mark may be a bit of a chore for her. We're going to find out, but we're going to break it down for her. I expect her to be very, very spanialistic. She's going to really use the wind and come into her marks. She's going to make Draven look like he went straight to it, would be my guess. She can prove me wrong, and hopefully she does. Let's try it. No, we don't, you know, the only retriever style mark she gets is when we're jump shooting ducks, and that's about it. We're gonna make sure she's steady on this first one. Hop, hop, good girl. Hop, hop, good girl, hop. Good girl. Hop, hop. Randy. Not the way the wind I was expect her to go. Goes to the cover. That's where she's seen it come out of. See if she's got to get out of the cover. Nice and steady. There you go. Good. All right. That wasn't bad, huh? Oh, we're doing that. Good girl. Here. Up. I can see where Riot gets all of her little character from. She's a little character. Hop. Now hop. Right. Randy. One of you. See if she comes around. Good girl. All right. So she's using the bumper buoy to mark off of, but she's running to it instead of marking off of it. Here, here, come here. Good girl. We'll try you here. Here, here, here. Hop. Good job. Good job. Hop. All right. We'll try you here. Randy. She's got her set pattern she wants to use. Good girl. So what she's doing is she's marking the bumper buoy and then hooking out from there. Using the bumper buoy to mark off of. Here. Just as if we were hunting, if I shot a bird Down there at the end by that tree, she's gonna run to that tree and hook off of it. So that's what she's telling me that's what she likes to do. So let's see what she does at 100 yards. Here. Here, come here. Here, hop. Here, here, here. Good. Randy. Yeah, stretching her out. Let's see what she does. I think she's got this going hunting. There we go. She's gonna come up with it. Back! Back! Okay. If you were hunting, there wouldn't be nothing wrong with that. I'll take it. And that's what she is. She's my little hunting dog. 100 yards. Good enough for me. Good job. Woo! All right. Good job. All right. That's pretty good, huh? Good job. All right. That's fun, huh?